It's the Big Data, Big Questions show. Hi, folks. Thomas Henson here with thomashenson.com. And today is another episode of, come on, I just said it, Big Data, Big Questions. And so today's question comes in from a user here on YouTube. So if you have a question, make sure you put it in the comment section here below or reach out to me on thomashenson/big-questions. I'll do my best to answer your questions here live on one of our shows or in one of our live YouTube sessions that we're starting to do on Saturday mornings. So throw those questions in there. Let me know how, let me know how we're doing with this channel. And also, if you have any questions around data engineering, machine learning, I'll even take some of those data science questions as well. So today's question comes in around certifications in the Hadoop ecosystem, right? So are certifications required for Hadoop administrators or Hadoop developers? Absolutely, positively not. They're not required, right? There may be some places where they'll require you to. I did see that back in my day, in software engineering. But in general, they're not going to require you to have that before gaining entry. Now, they might be nice to have, right? Like especially, if you're talking about going into an established team or established group, within your organization that, hey, we're on the Hortonworks stack, right? And we like to have everybody, up to par from a certification perspective. I haven't seen that a lot, specifically in the data engineering field, but it is something I've seen over the years in software engineering, but just not as much here lately. Now, does that mean that I'm saying that you shouldn't go get a certification? That's not what I'm saying at all. So if you're, especially if you're learning and trying to get into the Hadoop ecosystem and, hey, you're like, hey, where do I really start? First, you start with Big Data, Big Questions, right? Really, I can use the certification. So whether it be from, Azure, AWS, Cloudera, Hortonworks, or, Google GCP, Google's cloud platform, you can take any of their certifications and really see and kind of build out your own learning path. So that's an opportunity there, even if you're not going to go down the path of trying to get that certification. If you're trying to gain information and learn, some of the things that you need to know as a good data engineer, whether it be on the developer side, whether it be on the administrative side, that's definitely where I would start. And, that's an opportunity there. Really, when we look at the question, it poses more of a kind of philosophical question, if we will, in the data engineering and IT world, meaning, how do we feel about IT certifications? And so, I've answered this question. I had myself and Aaron Banks. We were talking about specifically around IT certifications and are they worth it? And we have a full-length video where we really dip into it, but I'll give you a little bit of a preview of kind of my thought process around it. The way that I look at certifications is, if you're looking to be able to prove out, especially if you're outside of a field, then, hey, getting a certification might benefit you, right? To, make yourself, more desirable to, getting your application and getting your brand kind of in there. So having a certification does lend some credence in those situations. However, if you're established in the role and you've been doing data engineering and you have a lot of experience in it, necessarily you're not going to really need, to have that certification, right? Because you've been proven, you've done the due diligence of being in that role and you're applying for a role as a data engineer. So you don't necessarily have to go through that certification process. Like I said, I really think that certifications are really good whenever we're talking about, hey, maybe I don't have the experience in that role and I want to prove to you that, hey, I'm coming from maybe you're a web developer like I was, right? You're a web developer, you're like, man, I'd really like to get into this, Hadoop and this, data engineering side of things. Where can I start, or how can I really, identify myself to be, somebody who wants to take on that next role? And that's where a certification is really going to help, right? So you can get that certification, you can walk through it, but I mean, you're not going to walk in though and say, hey, I've got the certification and, you, Mr. Data Engineer or Miss Data Engineer, it's been in that role for 6 years. I know more than you do because I have a certification. That's not really the case. And that's probably not what you want to do, right? Especially if you're new to an organization. So, be honest and, be gentle in, your interview process if you have a certification but you don't have the experience, and just say, hey, I'm really passionate about it. I've been following Big Data, Big Questions for some time. And, I thought that, it'd be good to get into the data engineering field. And to show how serious I am, I actually went through and, walked through some of the certification processing there too. So just an opportunity there for you to, kind of stand out from the crowd and show, your experience when you don't really have experience. So, let me know how you feel about this question and this answer here. Put it in the comment section below. Love to hear feedback. Also, if you have any questions, make sure you put them in the comment section here below. And never, never, never forget to subscribe and ring that bell so that you'll never miss an episode. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next episode of Big Data, Big Questions.